She's outspoken. She's not afraid to ask tough questions. She's not afraid to speak her mind. You've read her column. Maybe you're a fan on Facebook. No topic is off limits. Straight to the point. There's no chaser. You're now watching Straight Talk with Carla Zuill.
And we're back. I have in studio with me Mr. Chris Crumpler, Executive Director of Team Street Safe in Bermuda. Now, Mr. Crumpler, some may think, this well put together, this basketball star, teacher, husband, church man. How can you relate to guys on the street?
Because I'm born from the hip hop generation, and my struggle has been no handouts. So I grew up, I was adopted. My mom couldn't keep me because I was black, and so she had to put me in an orphanage. And the parents that raised me were sharecroppers. So there was a poor Southern pro-black family from the South that grew up picking peas, peanuts, blueberries since I was 8. And then when you get to high school, you do watermelons and oranges. And so working in the outside for hours with Haitians and ex-cons and Mexicans, and hearing the conversation, just eating a fish sandwich or grabbing a piece of watermelon and working all day, and then getting a chance to go to educate and be the first person in your family to get college educated, you see the impact that it has on everyone. And I always had this, despite playing outside barefooted, despite having whatever, I always had this drive that I was going to be something. Now, listen to Lil Wayne and listen to Jay-Z and listen to all these different rappers, I still had a little swag I was trying to portray at the same time. And so for me, it was like, yes, you're in college and you're trying to match to the girls, you're trying to do X, Y, Z, but you don't know what age or what moment do you supposed to be a man. Like, is it 18? Is it 21? Is it when you graduate from college or high school? And what does it look like if it's your original man, your inborn man that's inside of you? So the struggle with trying to find that, I understand. Because even at being married with children, I'm still figuring it out. Like, I still have a mentor. I still have groups that I aspire to be like. And so I'm looking at somebody now. I was very fortunate to have a strong father who I could have drug dealers right here, and my aunt then was a crackhead and stuff, but for me, it wasn't an option. And one of the street guys in Boston had asked me, he said, well, what was the turning point for you as a young black man? And I said, well, my father, one time I was having a conversation outside with Tutter and Gator Jr. and Shay, and Shay's incarcerated, Tutter's dead, and Gator Jr. just got arrested by the feds 2 months ago, again. Now, my dad opened the window and saw me talking. I'm 12 years old. We're all like 12, 13, 14. He said, boy, get your behind in this house. So I come and say, yeah, I'm gonna check y'all later. So I go in the house like any other time. It's 9 o'clock at night. I'm in my own yard. I walk in, and my dad, for the first and only time in his life, he punches me in my back, and I drop to the ground. Now, I'm nervous. I'm scared for my life at this moment. And he said, if you ever catch you out there with those boys again, I'll kill you. And I knew my father was serious. And so for me, I had a father who refused to let me lose. And so when I look at the young man, I go back to, who was your daddy? And then what did he do? And did he refuse to make you lose? Don't have it. They was in a boys' home. They had a mama who had 5 kids. They was trying to be a caregiver themselves, help their mom out doing little hustles, and that's why they started selling weed or whatnot. And so I always go back to my spiritual foundation and my earthly father, who, well, you can see, like I seen a brick on the kitchen floor chopped up. You know what I mean? I've been around that stuff my whole life. And you could be right around it, but when you have a strong, for me, my personal opinion, when you have a strong father, he doesn't care what those other boys, his world was me. You know what I mean? And so I understand if I didn't have that, I'd be just like them.
Now, see, it's interesting because I have 2 sons, and I'm very passionate about the presence of father. And people think it's male bashing, but I think that black men, and I've said it and I'll say it again, that some black men are letting their sons down.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like for me, but my thing is, right, they probably, in the context of letting them down, but are they ready? Are they equipped? Do they have the resources? Do they have the tutelage to do and to be the father they need to be for the 21st century? And so I am an extension of my father. You know what I mean? And so I'm grateful for him saying, we go to this church every Sunday, whether it's raining, whether you try to play sick, I don't care. You're going to Sunday school and you're going to church. And on top of that, your boys could be your cousins, but I know they mamas and daddies, and you're not going to be like them. And so for me, I have those images embedded in my mind. I have those conversations like in my mind. So when I'm dealing with my son and my daughter, I know what that little girl's doing, and I know what that little boy is doing. I know they don't feel like going to church, but we going to church. Mm-hmm. And so I can hear myself talking through my father. And so when I talk to the guys on the street, they have no frame of reference to what they got exposed to? Somebody getting beat, a woman getting beat right in front of them. You know what I mean? Sex happening right in front of them at 6, 7, and sometimes they was touched. So your psyche is all distorted. Mm-hmm. So to say now, because you're 25, because you're 30, because you had sex and from that you had a baby, be a father. Be a father with what?
Right.
You're broken yourself.
Do you give them some of the tools for those who want them to be better fathers?
Oh yeah, we have called the E2 factor, education and employment, but not just get a job. You set people up for failure that way too. You know, soft skills, hard skills, communication skills, people skills, and it has to be continuous, right? Because you know what the law is, but doesn't mean you don't break it. Let's say the speed limit is 35K. Let's say the teacher say don't talk. We all broken those rules.
Right.
But if you understand how to continuously be involved and around certain conversations, you evolve and adapt. You know what I mean? So when I know you don't have that, like even working at Cedar Bridge and being a behavior therapist and working at ISS, like my frustration was people want them to just be these things because they men and they strong and they powerful, but they have to have the training.
Unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, man. And because they're big and got tattoos and got their hair braided, and because they got children, there's no excuses. There's no excuses for it. And it's unfair. It's so unfair. So for me, it's not just giving them services, but being an advocate and helping paint the picture so your perspective is a genuine perspective of where they come from.
So how many clients are you, I don't know if you call them clients, but how many clients do you guys service, and did you go out and seek them or did they come to you?
Initially, being a new organization, we had to go out. So from May 1st to like November 1st last year, we went out. Since then, we don't go out at all. They come to us.
So was it hard for you for those initial 10? I mean, you show up or however you interact with them. Was it like, who are you and what are you doing here?
Not really, because I was so fortunate for me that I had credibility as a good person with them. So when I came to Bermuda, I wasn't sleeping around. I wasn't smoking around. I wasn't drinking around. Let me tell you why. My father told me when I came, he said, boy, I got no money to give you. He didn't give me no money because he didn't have none. We're poor. But he said, when you go to that island, the one thing, don't mess up my name, Crumpler. When everybody say Crumpler, you better make sure it's a good name that they got attached to it. And so when you're sitting at a dinner table right before you get on a plane and go to a country, and your father tells you that, so most people go to a foreign country, nobody know, they're gonna smoke, they're gonna drink, they're gonna have fun. When I came with a purpose not to mess up my name. And so now, when God has it, that now it's my turn to impart in them, they was willing to trust me because of my name. You understand? So I was able to move pretty fast just because they knew I wasn't a crook. They knew I wasn't snatching or taking from. They knew I had a credibility in pouring into them. And so they was willing to listen to me.
So you said you get some from referrals. From where?
Court services, Westgate, the farm, streets, mothers, crime mothers. Last year I think I did with 3 or 4 crime mothers.
Now let's talk about moms, because everyone says, part of the problem with these young males is that they're mama's boys or mama's always, running up behind them. But if there's no father, what is that mother supposed to do? What is that balance, in your opinion, between being a strong mother or turning your son into a mama's boy? Yeah.
Enablement. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, being in education, being at the boys' home, I see enablement all the time. It's a hard conversation to have. I actually have it with my mom, my biological mom, about my little brother. You have to let things be. Like, he has to be broken. And we always want to come in and save a grown person. If you break them, if you let them be broken at 17, 18, 19, and reality sets in, now they're willing to be built back up. But if you keep saving them, they're gonna be 22, you're gonna save them. They're gonna be 25, you're gonna save them. You're gonna keep coming in and let life hit them. Once life hits them, now they're able to say, okay, this is who I am. this is where I am, and this is what I need to do. And now they're ready to listen. Because if you keep saving them, they don't have to listen because they always got to get out of jail free card. Now, how you do it? Mentorship. Find that male mentorship in that coach, in that church member, in that extended family, extended friends. You have to find it. Because the reality is, your situation, it is what it is. But you have to be honest with yourself that he's going to need to see and interact with a male figure that's going to be leading him to the pro-social life that I want for him. And if I have to go find that person, pay that person, whatever for that, I have to go do it. And I have to know that I have to digress. You know what I mean? And you would get it in your comment, they're like blowing you off. Yeah, whatever. You don't they will give you hints that you will find yourself constantly yelling, constantly saying the same thing. You will have to check yourself. He's tuning you out. So let it be and find something and someone, to engage in him where he does talk and he does listen and he is heard and he is expressing his manhood challenges to this person. And I laugh because earlier this year, there was one student that was completely kicked out of education, and so people came in and they saw the person. They was like, Chris, I can't believe how he's acting right now. Can't believe, and then we got this report, kicked out in the boys' home, boom, boom, boom. He's been with me and has not said one cuss word in front of me for months. He's not disrespected me not once and months.
And he's been written off by everyone else.
Been kicked out of education.
Okay. We'll be back in a moment with more from Mr. Crumpler.
If I want them to see what they should be one day, I have to be it. I can't talk about it. I have to be it. If you want them to be what you want them to be one day, you have to show it. You have to show your investment.
More Straight Talk after these messages.